Welcome to Fire Away Seriously Funny Conversations, the podcast where we catch up on things that make us laugh and things that make us human. We are Matt Bays and Leslie
Robbins.
And today we are going to talk about
Yemma. Is that her name? I don't know what's her name. That's what her name is. What is it? I know it's right. What's her name?
God. Yebba.
Okay. Yebba.
Oh my God, I love that. Saint Harrison and Yebba, and why they could kick Adele and Sam Smith's ass.
Shout out to Julie Lang.
Yeah, baby.
Fox News. Johnny Depp.
News. If you like Fox News, shut us off, because it ain't gonna be pretty.
Matt gets an award nomination live on this episode.
Yellowstone and comparisons made to life in the church and people who don't like to change with Leslie Robin. Why didn't you call? There's a song by some guy named Saint Harrison.
Mm.
I thought it was a woman of color. And all I'm thinking is Sam Smith, when he hears him sing, is going to think, run that bitch out of town. Because he sounds Sam Smith-ish, but better. His voice is crazy. Saint Harrison. My niece sent it to me and I was like, who is that? Meaning, what lady is that?
Right.
You know, he's just got like sort of R&B gospel almost influenced chops. He's just a white boy with rosy cheeks and pink hair.
Why is that?
I don't know, but his voice is amazing.
I just tried to Google him. Saint Harrison, found him. Not what you expect.
No.
At all.
At all.
That song was dedicated to Mama Tiny because she had a scanner. And when she would hear somebody was in a wreck, she would call every single person in our family. Are y'all home? Are you okay? Is anybody dead? Literally every time there was a wreck on the scanner.
That's kind of sweet.
Why didn't you come? Are you dead on the side of the road? It literally says that.
Yeah. Why didn't you call? Because she's not here no more.
Yes.
Or she would have called.
Right.
That damn phone in heaven don't take nickels.
The scanner in heaven is loud.
Yeah. Anyway, he's my music crush of the week.
You know what's really interesting to me is the names of these artists these days. You've got Post Malone. You've got Saint, whatever his...
Post Malone, you don't want to watch his live videos where he's drunk. Google
I'm telling you what, I love Post Malone. Leslie,
yes,
number one fan.
But the videos of him drunk makes me want to be like, oh, honey, you're so talented. There's a better way. Come live with me for 30 days. We're going to figure this out. And then you're going to go to all the AA meetings because you're young, beautiful. You've got a gorgeous voice, great musician. Let's not waste it all.
Right. You got, is it Young Gravy? That's somebody's name. Machine Gun Kelly. We're going into like weird names. Is it
Remember
necessary?
Clint Eastwood? There was one named Clint Eastwood. And the thing with the weird names is my favorite song of all time is by William Shatner. And people are like, oh, that's a band. And I'm like, no,
my brother would agree with you. The spoken word stuff. He's totally into
I have my tattoo. My God.
My brother's
Above the Quiet. That is from one of his songs. That's me trying.
Oh, shout out Jared Black right now. He's loving it.
Jared Black. Yes, I am down with it. And like, I want to live like common people. I want to do what common people do. He's like, his voice is magic. And he does a bunch of stupid kind of funny things. But then in the middle of the CD called Has Been, he has a song called That's Me Trying that'll knock your socks off.
Oh my God.
Favorite song of all time. Well, because it inspired this tattoo, which is my forgiveness tattoo, and helped me get through my daddy issues when I was 36.
And that's how old my brother is.
My daddy issues never came back after that. I'm not kidding. All I had to do was listen to it 17 times and bawl my eyes out at my desk at work. And they all was forgotten. Yeah. Here's another weird name. And like I said, the answer to Sam Smith, where he's getting nervous hearing of somebody like St. Harrison, is how I imagine Adele must feel about a girl named Yeba.
Oh, that's a fun name.
Have you heard Yeba?
No. Do I need to pull this out? Yeba. Let's do it.
Pull out the song called My Mind.
My mind. My mind.
People need to listen to the song called My Mind, not on Spotify. I want you to go to YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
And watch My Mind by Yeba. Yebba.
Ooh, she's pretty.
Honey,
My Mind.
That is probably the best live recording of somebody singing I've heard in 5 years. I'm not kidding.
Dang, okay.
She's unbelievable. And I don't think she has a great song repertoire, to be honest. But when the song is right, it's just.
When it's right, it's right.
You say you love me, but I know it's a lie. When I work so hard to keep you satisfied.
That's good.
You got to watch her sing it too, because this girl has experienced. This song has come from, there's this one part in the bridge where she says, no way, you can't take him away from me. I might not stay, but I'll be damned if I ever leave. And I mean, it's all over her face.
Oh,
she's singing to somebody she doesn't like very much.
I would have to listen to that one.
Stuff. Yeah.
I don't know any songs. I listen to Taylor Swift. That's about it.
Hey, that new album is great.
It really is.
She just keeps putting out great songs. And people are like, I hate Taylor. But her albums. Can we just go down a Taylor Swift rabbit hole for a moment?
It's time.
Well, I don't need this. I don't know all the songs. I want to talk about what happened with Ticketmaster. Right.
I don't really know. I just know there was some controversy, so I'm here for it. Let's go.
Well, everybody was pissed. People were pissed because they couldn't get tickets.
Right.
First of all, people are saying she should have stood up and said something about it. And here's kind of what I like about Taylor Swift. She does not get in the weeds with you. You can invite her in those damn weeds all day long. Ex-boyfriends saying shit about her. And she's like, I'm just not going to respond. I'll write a song. And make millions instead. Yeah, she just doesn't ever really seem to speak out or get involved in the trash. And I love that.
Yeah. Totally.
You know, it's cool. But I don't know why people are mad and it's just not fair. We aren't getting tickets. My daughter and her friends.
I'm sorry. Sometimes you don't get the ticket. You just don't. It's Taylor Swift. People are wanting it. High demand.
Exactly. It's we're watching another Elvis in the making. So you didn't get Elvis tickets.
Right.
You'll survive and listen to the CDs we all did.
Right.
I didn't go to a concert till I was almost 19 years old.
Right.
Michael Jackson, Bad Tour, Jealous.
I am. That is actually a really awesome first concert. I mean, really.
My friend Paul Meese asked me to stop singing in the middle of a concert.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I still remember he was like, can you stop it? Because I was like, no. I mean, I was so happy to be there.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, that's my point. My daughters wanted to go see Taylor Swift, and there was no real close venue. There's Nashville. There was Chicago, which is really close for Cassidy, but they didn't get no tickets in any state.
Well, and aren't the tickets $250
Exactly. Exactly. They are.
No,
yeah.
No, you're going to SeaWorld. Here's
my thought. Homegirl can sing and write songs. Give her that. But you know what she really is the best at? Marketing. Yeah. These Easter eggs and these hints and these, things she's doing that makes the fans want more is like nothing that's ever been done before.
Yeah, I like her. And I don't love all her music. I couldn't name you 5 songs. I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just not really a fan. So I'll listen to her CD like just to kind of check it out. And I always think she's got great hooks on her songs. They're memorable, but I'm not really into her music. I'm just more, sounds stupid to say proud. I'm kind of proud of her.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, you do your thing. Good for you for not getting hung up in all the garbage. While there's so many musicians out there, Post Malone performing high as a kite, she just doesn't seem to get caught up in all of that. And I kind of like it. I mean, it's like Madonna. Madonna didn't get caught up in any of that stuff.
She really, really lost it somehow.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she really got caught up.
She got caught up in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
First, she's like, here's
she's
my voice. Then she's like, I'm in a material world. Then she's like, here's my boobies. Now she's like, here's where my eyebrows used to be. And how about this grill? I'm 70, bitch.
It's so bad. It's really bad.
It is. Those TikToks of her, I guess she did poppers or something on TikTok, and everybody was mad that TikTok wasn't taking it down or whatever. But my friend the other day was like, oh, I haven't kept up on her at all. We're talking on the phone and all of a sudden it gets quiet and he's like, Lord Jesus. And I was like, are you watching her TikTok? And he's like, yes. What happened to her? Like,
I know.
Oh, she's a wreck.
Right.
But I like that about her too.
Yeah.
I got to retain my title for liking everybody.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
How was it? Did you love it?
Thanksgiving was great. There were 4 of us, my mom, my stepdad, Chris, and me. Here's what we do. We sit around and we talk. That's what we do. 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 6 hours, 8 hours. We just reminisce and shoot the poop. And I love it. I love to hear my mom talk and tell all of her stories. I think that's where I got storytelling from. I'm sure it is. But we sat there until Chris, in his own words, got bed sores.
Was he like hating it, or was he just like,
oh, he's patient as the day is long. He finally was like, do you want to go for a walk? Like, he's like, I need to get out because he's a mover, you know. And then the next morning I got up, we had coffee, me and my mom talked some more. Then Chris came out, we talked a few more hours, and then we left.
Aww.
Went to my friend Julie Lang's house.
Julie Lang.
Julie Lang. Lang.
Yes.
And we went to her house and ended up having like a sleepover with her sister and her brother-in-law. I know. We were like hanging out in the kitchen, chit-chatting and talking, and then stayed the night.
Were you planning on it, or are you just like impromptu?
No.
Let's stay the night.
I was I knew we were there for a long time, and I was like, we've got a 3-hour ride home and it's getting kind of late. And so I looked up on Airbnb and found a spot and then showed Chris, and he was like, no. And I thought, okay, we'll just drive home. I was just trying to see if we needed options. Her sister said, you guys can stay the night if you just want to stay over and watch Mommy Dearest. That's an exact quote, because we had talked about Mommy Dearest earlier. Chris has never seen it, which he needs to hand in his gay card for, in my opinion. And he looked at me and he was like, I mean, yeah. And I was like, perfect. And that's what we did. We brought our bags in and we stayed the night.
And Julie Lang is what, who, what, when, where, and why to Chris?
Julie Lang and Chris went to high school together. And as the story goes, I may not get this exactly right, but Chris was moving in. And I think she came to the house and was like, hey, introduced herself and was like, invited him into her little friend group and their world. And those are the people that he hung out with. So he ended up going to prom with her. She came to our wedding, and she has welcomed me so fully into their little world since, you know, getting together with Chris. Like sometimes her and I just FaceTime.
I mean, talk about welcoming. She's looking at my resume for me right now.
Exactly. That is her.
Yes, Julie's checking my resume.
Julie Lang she's a force. She is so smart and quick and just seems to know everything about everything.
Yeah.
I really, you know, those people you feel endeared to? Her, for me. And got to meet her mother, who they all call, her name's Sharon, but they all call Sharona. She's 81 and drives a convertible. And we were talking about her driving this convertible. And I was like, you had the top down out there. I mean, it's cold, you know?
She's like,
And she goes, yeah. She goes, I mean, if it's a nice day, I keep the top down. And I said, what's a nice day? And she went, 35 to 40. 35 to 40. She has the top down.
Then she turned up the music and it was dun 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 Mary-Juana.
She's cute as pie, 81 and sharp as a tack.
Mm-hmm.
Just good people. My mom and then them. Listen, it was a great Thanksgiving. It was really good.
I love it.
All right. So tell me about yours. How was guess how much?
My brother won. So
how much was it?
I think it was like $250 or something like that. Yeah, they won. And my sister always is mad about it because she feels that she deserves the money. She needs it the most. All that. So there's always this like looming.
She's decided she needs it the most.
And she's like, fine.
It wouldn't even be about if I need it. I just want to win. I'm competitive.
You know how much I guessed?
How much?
$91. Couldn't care less. I don't care. I've won. I was the first to win, but I just don't. I'm not competitive. I don't care. Not one bit.
I watched Chris's boy and his friend playing chess yesterday.
Yeah.
It got down to the end and it looked like one of them was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, like just all of a sudden goes checkmate. And I'm looking at the board and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He totally just did it.
Yeah.
They clear the board and start putting the pieces back on. No one gloats. Not a word. Not like, or like, what up, bro? Nothing.
They're just like
no words, literally just started putting the pieces back on. And I thought, whatever gene that is, I do not have. Because I'd have been like around the room, you know. I mean,
trumpet.
Yeah. Can we just spend 10 minutes talking about how I arrived at this victory? What I did, what you didn't see coming. Let's talk about it.
How amazing I did. Yeah, it was good. We ate a lot. I feel like next year I'm probably going to request that we have a salad at the end, like on Thursday, on Friday. It's salad and fruits and vegetables. I'm just talking about good old like lettuce, tomato, croutons, a little bit of cheese and onion.
For what purpose?
Just
because I really want to taste salad, or I want to feel like I've eaten something healthy.
Well, I think that's it. You eat so much like buttery, rich goodness. You feel so full and sick to your stomach that you feel like you need to eat something healthy, like go out and graze on something, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I'm thinking about Julie Lang's sister. She was like, I have not eaten anything but carbs all day, not 1 ounce of protein, you know? And she had like a buttered roll in her hand while she said,
that's me. I think my sister-in-law is very active and very busy. She's just a go person. And she looked up at one point. She goes, I don't think I've moved all day. I don't think I've actually walked anywhere. But I think she's the one that coined the term sitting is the new smoking. She's not wrong, but I love sitting.
That's awesome. Julie Lang's mom, Sharona, was talking about the Steps app.
Yes.
That she didn't like it, you know, because she would see 9,000 steps and it would be really late. And you're supposed to get to 10,000. So she would walk around, just like walk around, trying to get her 10,000 steps in. And I'm like, I get that. Like, it's a competitive thing. Once I start looking at it, I measure every day. And if I have a day where I've gotten 23,000 steps, which has happened a few times, then it's like, look what I did. But then the next day, if it's like 6,000, I'm like, you're a loser.
I'm never like that.
Ever? No,
but I walk a lot at work. I was noticing that today. But my cousin Kim, remember when it came out, like the first like thing that count your steps? What is it called? It's like a thing. Oh. And you could like compete with people that you knew. And I felt like there was somebody in her life that was competing against her and like always trying. She's a gym teacher. Like there's nobody that moves more than my cousin. And we were like, put it on your dog at night. Just let it go.
Yeah.
That's how I would win.
What a great. They're like, she got 123,000 steps last night. So that's a lot of steps. All right. So it was a good Thanksgiving. Loved it.
Loved it.
5 stars out of 5.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Bad mouth people.
Didn't you come? Oh my God.
Full
I'm
circle.
about to blow your mind.
Okay.
I watched an episode and a half of, are you ready?
I'm not. I don't believe it.
It's a truth. It's a truth. I'm going to tell you the truth about something.
I don't believe it. I'm not going to let you.
I'm not lying.
I'm not
I promise, honest to God. All
Okay.
I can tell you is he had a lot of sons, and one of them died in the first episode.
What?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Yellowstone?
Yes.
I thought it was good. The first episode's an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
And I was halfway through going, where the hell is Faith Hill?
That was a prequel.
What is she in?
She's in 1880. Oh, shit. I always say it wrong. 1886.
And it's a prequel to Yellowstone?
To Yellowstone. It's like his great-great-grandparents who are on the Oregon Trail going to their Yellowstone home that they don't know about yet.
They'd be proud that you said Oregon.
Or Oregon.
No, you said it how they would say it. Oregon.
Okay. Oregon Trail. Yes.
It was good, but I fell asleep in the second episode because, I mean, those are 53-minute episodes.
It's 1883.
Well, I figured it out once we were halfway through. I was like, I don't think Faith Hill is showing up.
No.
I mean,
No.
she'd be out here leading the charge. Is Tim McGraw in that too?
Yes.
He is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we'll watch that next. But yeah, it was interesting. This sounds crazy, but it reminds me of church life.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go for it.
People don't want anything to change or.
Yes. Oh,
yes,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All of that is what it put me in the mind of, where I was like, oh, I know these kind of people, where there's the people who want to change and make things new and fresh and like, let's move forward. And then there are people who are like digging in their heels, like, keep it the same. We don't want change. You know, yeah. It
Why
sort
do
of
you
felt
think
like that
people don't want change? What's your empathetic heart tell you?
Because they're afraid. They're afraid of change. I think if we're talking church, they're settled in a community or settled in their lives, and change makes you have to reevaluate how you do things. You have to learn new ways of behaving that you might not want to, and maybe feel like you're not going to be able to. So even in job changes, people start getting older. And if you don't keep up with things, you have some new people coming in that are bringing with them all sorts of new kinds of technology or whatever. And you don't know how to do it. And you're afraid it's going to put you out of a job.
Yeah.
And not only do you not want to learn it, you're afraid you can't. What if I'm not able to?
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced some of that before.
Yeah. And you know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's people are afraid of being forgotten.
Okay.
So
say more.
So like Yellowstone, he's afraid if he changes, then everything that his family has ever done before is going to be forgotten. Drums in church means that the hymns my great grandma sang are going to be forgotten. Mm-hmm. It's not going to matter anymore.
Yeah.
Then what? Right?
Well, there was that moment where one of the guys said something about, you're pissed off because everybody in the grocery store doesn't know who you are. And he said, you're damn straight, you know, that he didn't like that. And I thought, I mean, famous people die. Yeah. And 3 weeks later, we've kind of forgotten about them.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just life. None of us matters that much. It's very few people that find a place in history for good reasons or bad reasons and are remembered forever. But who cares?
My dad says 100 years from now, all new people. And it's true.
What does he mean when he says that?
He just means what we're doing right now obviously matters, but like in the grand scheme of things, we start afresh. It's all new people. So whatever we do now, it's not that it doesn't matter, just make it matter. So change is okay. Embrace the change because we are escorting the future in. That's how you're remembered, is the change maker, not the person that said, no, don't forget me. Don't forget my mom. You know, those are not the people. It's the people that say, I've walked this far. You lead the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the people we remember, not the people that dig their heels in to the past.
Well, if we're bitter enough, we remember those people too.
Well, until we're dead.
There's something wonderful about growth. I was around when I was in Flint, Michigan. I was around a lot of people that were older and that to me were like looking back, I can see a lot of emotional immaturity. And I was too, but I was also 28 years old.
Right.
And I learned when I left that place that none of what I was doing was that important.
Right.
So I went to Carmel, Indiana, started working at that big damn church. And I mean, it was big. So in my line of work, it was Mecca. Like it's the kind of place that other worship leaders would look at and think,
you made it.
Yes, you made it.
Yeah.
Right. I could have given a rat's ass about actually being there. I was glad to be there. There were great things about it. Nothing about the work I enjoyed, but it didn't feel like it made me anything special. And I was very aware that I was just doing a job. There was no more, this is so important and we can't this and we can't that even though people still had those conversations, they did not stir up in me any sort of anger or temptation to get involved or drawn into the drama, because I had kind of was flying above that. Thankfully, I'd done a lot of work at the time. So this is interesting watching that Yellowstone. I did actually have a thought last night that if this becomes all about that, protecting what we are, I think I may end up bowing out of it just because I don't want to waste my time thinking about that kind of stuff. When you identify so closely with something, it's how I felt when my kids were 2 and 4 years old and Super Nanny was the show everybody's watching. I was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to put my kids to bed and watch Super Nanny.
Right.
It's kind of that same thing. When everybody's like all up in arms about whatever's going on, I always just think, hold on, this will pass. It really is how we react to it. So here's the thing, and then I'll shut up. Old people many times get caught up in Fox News. You know it's true.
Yep.
That's what all their friends are watching. That's what they start watching. And it gets crazy. Like they start becoming fearful and it becomes like it's fear mongering. I don't like that. So I was talking to my mom recently and we mentioned somebody in her life that is very involved in that. She said, I just don't watch all that stuff, you know? And I was thinking, this isn't about her not being informed. It's about her being like, I don't want all that on me, you know? Yeah. Some people do it well and their whole life isn't about that. But most people that I've noticed seem really like the world's going to hell in a handbasket. It's just all negative or whatever, because that's a lot of what they serve up on there. I'm not just going after Republicans. I'm really not. But you know what I'm saying. I'm probably going to cut all that out.
No, I mean, I'll just follow up. And I'm going to dumb it down a little bit. I used to think up until about 4 months ago that when people were like, it's the media, they control what you think about things and all that stuff. I used to think it was bogus. I thought people are able to draw their own conclusions. And then I started watching the Johnny Depp trial. Okay. Stay with me. I watched that with my own 2 eyes with an intelligent mind and watched all the facts come in. I watched the jury decide what had happened. He was cleared basically. Yeah. And it was shown very intelligently. Everything was laid out. But on Facebook and on Twitter, on Instagram, the way MSNBC, any outlet portrayed it was that he was still a woman beater. He was a, terrible human being, and it was all pro her. And I was like, I'm watching this with my own eyes. And what are you reporting? This is not right. And like people in the comments are saying, what? We're watching this. And in real time, I watched as they hired new PR. They were all, all these things and all the idea of these PR relationships where these actors and actresses and musicians are not really dating. They're just dating to boost their ratings and their celebrity. And I'm like, okay, maybe there is something to this. Maybe we are there is some little media manipulation happening out there, whatever direction you want to look at it. I'm going the Johnny Depp trial. I'm not talking about politics, but I saw with my own eyes how they were trying to manipulate our thoughts. on how things were. And I was like, this is not right.
Yeah. And this is me speaking for myself. I don't know enough about it all to be watching one specific thing. I don't think I have the genetic makeup to be able to make an informed decision based on watching one thing like that. It's too much for me. So I have to do my homework, have conversations with my friends, and ask questions. But I am not going to have a steady diet of one news channel on, and that's all I watch, because I think while it may feed that part of me that already believes this, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think we need a balance. We just need more moderate voices, but that's not what seems to get heard in the media. And listen, there's nothing I love better than a moderate Democrat or a moderate Republican. I just have so much more respect for that. But those aren't the people that end up getting heard or getting votes.
Yeah.
The end.
Not the end. I have one more thing, and you can cut this if it's too much, because I'm not sure.
Do.
But at my high school, there was 12 homecoming court candidates. Okay. And this is going to sound snobby, and I'm really apologize. I don't know how else to paint this picture, but 11 of the candidates were popular girls. Okay. Like your athletes, your preppy girl, your smart girl. It's mostly kind of this popular group, 11 of them. Number 12 was what we called the back hall girl. They were all the country guy, they got in fights and chewed tobacco and whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
When it came to voting, the popular vote was divided by 11 people. They went for, whoever, but the back hall vote was not divided, and it was strong, and the back hall girl would win because they were all collectively had one candidate. Yeah. Right. And sometimes I think that's kind of how politics works, where it's like you have kind of a generic group, and you have one that's sticking out like a sore thumb, and they all the people that are not, in this genre go, that's our girl or that's our man. Yeah. And they vote and they win. So
interesting.
Yeah. So have a homecoming court analogy, if you will.
I love that.
Yeah.
I found a marijuana cigarette at my homecoming. That's how I'm going to end that story.
Wow. Did you smoke it?
Marijuana cigarette. I found it. And I found it in my pocket. Now, how it got there, I have no idea. This is my junior year. The extreme of the pendulum. You not dancing in square dance to smoking a joint junior year. It wasn't a joint. It was the marijuana cigarette.
What do you think? Marijuana is a joint. A joint is marijuana.
I know. Just trying to make it palatable for our listeners.
The pendulum swings so
fire it away or fire it up. But yeah, I had cut a hole in the lining of one of my pockets and hid it inside the suit. I'll be damned if I found that thing in the bathroom. I was searching for it everywhere.
Oh my God, you lost it?
I couldn't find it because it was all in the suit somewhere, because I'd cut that hole because I was going to hide it in my suit in case anybody reached in my pocket. And then I didn't find it for a long time, but then I did.
Is that a pencil in your pocket?
It's a marijuana cigarette. We're going to call this episode Marijuana Cigarette.
Last Dance with Mary Jane.
While we are recording this, and this can take us out, Broadway World Indianapolis Award nominations.
Did you win?
I have been nominated for Best Performer in a Musical. There is Mary-Kate Tanzel, YAP's 42nd Street, Matt Bayes, Elf the Musical, and Olivia Broadwater, Rent.
You're just not finding this out right now in real time?
Yes, it just came up.
Congrats!
I got nominated.
So do they have a award ceremony?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
If they do, my ass is going to be there. Maybe you find out while you're there. Oh my God. I would be more interested in figuring out my not winning face. I want to do the look where you're like I'm happy for them, but everybody's like, he's not happy.
My sister hates when people have fake laughs like this. She always says that. Don't you hate when people laugh like this?
I knew somebody who did a laugh and they covered their mouth and looked to the side. And we waited for them to stop. She would say something and then do this. And now remember, it's not funny and you're not laughing.
Okay.
You're just waiting for her to be done.
Okay.
So she says it and then goes. Right. Or they would say and wouldn't get to the end of the story and be like, she said. And you're like, let it be over.
Yes.
Please.
And then people that also go, when they're talking, like, I went to the store and it was really, really busy. And so people that like spit suck. I don't know what to call it.
What is that? What about when people get that shit in the corners of their mouth or on their lips right here when they talk a lot and they don't know it's there and you're done listening?
Yeah,
all you're doing is watching it taffy pull between the lips and you can't stop.
I can so see you doing all that.
Like, I don't know what you're saying anymore. All I see is that
right
strings of spittle.
Yeah. Well, spit.
Yeah. And then sometimes they'll, like, if they're a speaker, you're waiting for them to do the where they feel it and then they get rid of it. And then 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, I just saw one. Here it comes. It's coming again. Waiting. You're just waiting for it to just enough to get the stretching going.
That's why we did bad in school, is because we were watching things like that and got really distracted by it.
Yeah. That's it for us today on Fire Away. Fire Away. We'll be back with more seriously funny conversations next week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/podcast Fire Away and on Instagram at fireaway_podcast and watch us via video on our YouTube channel and fire this podcast off to a few friends.
Fire away.
Fire away.
Well, I want to go to the award ceremony. So when that is, just let me know.
I've got to start working on my gown.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I'm going to wear.
Yes, you do.
And now I do.
Yeah.